All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is, well, children of all ages, fellow pandemic travelers. This is Seattle Pandemic Shutdown Friday night video drive around thing. Oof. Man, this was a long week. I don't know exactly why. Can't quite put my finger on why. This week felt really long. And every day has been like 100 years in pandemic time, but like, oof, this week is tiring. I don't know how much I'm gonna do with you tonight, because I was wondering if I would see more people out. The issue is people have nowhere to go unless they're going to like stealth bars or something. Basically like speakeasies, because, you know, it is the 2020s, so if we're doing the Roaring 20s thing again, your bar is an illegal bar if you're open right now, right? Is that, you know, that's happening. So you have to have a circle of trust of people who you, well, trust to take to the speakeasy, to tell about the speakeasy, to give the secret password to. And hopefully it's like hopefully it's all stylish and there's broads and some bathtub gin. Well, I don't know if you need the bathtub gin, but you're not allowed to be drinking in there. See, this is just intermission. We'll see you soon. That's the Paramount Theater. Everyone's got a clever see you soon thing, and we're in this together. All these corporations were doing the in this with you, in the fight with you, in this together, and it's the equivalent of idiocracy. Welcome to Costco. I love you. Like, yeah, we get it. You know, you too are aware that there's a pandemic and everything is just fucked, and you don't want us to forget that you exist, I guess, as a company. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I mean, look, there is, I have my cautious optimism. Like, there's not really anything improving down here because nothing's open, because nothing's being allowed to be opened. But I do see more people just kind of walking around and stuff. So that's, you know, that's like a thing. You know, the homeless are returning. I had to stop on I-5 today in traffic like twice. I mean, again, I understand this pandemic is this virus is a problem and everything, and we need to reopen the economy, but all these people in my way again, not cool. No one cares about my suffering. But anyway, like, signs of life returning. But here's the thing. I was just looking at an article. Basically, the headline and the first paragraph were saying that we're looking at like $1 billion in lost revenues for. Can I go around you? What are you doing? I don't know what's going on. Empty bus. 2 people on the bus. The lost revenue from taxes on hotel rooms and stuff is going to result in a massive budget shortfall for the giant convention, the new convention center rebuild thing. So that's a giant project that's like, I don't know what, an eighth of the way done. The foundations and stuff have been poured, and it's like, well, what is this? You know, what now? So is it just gonna sit idle and just be a big unfinished hole in the ground? I just don't know. Street kids hanging out. See, there's like street kids, and then there's like homeless people. there are kids that they basically choose to live on the street. You know what I mean? It is. I mean, that's kind of my opinion anyway. Look at this dude. Damn, bro. Looking rough. See, they've got it. They got it. Taking pictures of their car. Getting some good shots. It's a great time to get like car pictures and stuff. I mean, you're never gonna get shots like this again. I mean, there's quite a few cars down here right now. But, yeah, they got them lined up, you know, a little Grand Theft Auto kind of action. These people are getting, I don't know, are they getting used to it? We're having some fun, having the fun we can with the thing that we got. Let's go down here. Oof, you like those bricks, huh? Oh, man. Blarney Stone. New Blarney Stone. Yep. Alright, well, I mean, this is downtown. It's dead. Like last week. I don't know, man. Just the empty streets and everything, it just feels so weird. And there's still times it doesn't quite feel real. Like, it doesn't quite feel like real life, you know? It's, again, it's as real as it gets, but it's, God, it's like this is really happening. And we haven't really necessarily hit the worst of what this is gonna be. Now, for example, so the convention center project will get put on hold, right? Or they'll raise a bunch of taxes and that will have a bunch of negative market effects and all that stuff. But feel those Seattle streets that are not going to get paved because there's no sales taxes, there's no, you know, well, Washington State doesn't have state income tax. Well, maybe for now they don't. But yeah, and it's not just, obviously, not just Seattle is going to run into these problems. No sales tax, no, well, you know, gas tax, all that stuff. All those sources of revenue for the city, gone. So what's going to happen? National Geographic Live, from summit to sea. Yeah, I have a feeling that's not happening. I have a feeling that's not happening, but I wish they had I wish they just did like everybody else, the Benaroya Hall. I wish they had put up their "See you soon" sign like everyone else. Man, see, this looks relatively similar, to be quite honest. I mean, all the homeless just, I don't know if they're homeless, but they're just chilling, and they were here before all this. They will be here after this. There's some more of them. Right here on this corner, this is where the they had that mass shooting back in the before time. Back in, God, what was it? I'd have to look it up now. I can't even remember. like 8 or 9 people all got shot by 2 dudes decided to see, there we go, rolling by, there they are. Again, they were kind of here before all of this, and they'll be here after. Yeah, no, that mass shooting though, right at that McDonald's on the corner there. That McDonald's has been a shithole country the entire time I've lived here. I've lived here for 15 years or something. What is it, 13? Math. Yeah, like 13 years, I guess. Oh, come on. And it's always been a wild place. But that was something else. Never that amount of gunplay and that many, innocent bystanders get shot. But yeah, so again, those problems that we had before the COVID, all of these problems right now, everybody freaking out, the food bank stuff, the food shortages, rationing, federal bailouts, passing with all kinds of garbage in them, all these awful things, plus what's going to come next. And in some sense, we don't actually know what's going to come next because we've never really been here before. And I'm going to head out of downtown, by the way. I'm going to go home. You've seen it. I've seen it. You've probably seen your own city. Like, I hope that people have, realized they can go outside and go walk around your city. Go see it, how it is right now, Like I've said a million times, you're never going to see it again like this. Most likely. I mean, I hope. God. Do this every couple years or something? No, thank you. I'd rather not. But the next thing, it's like, again, for people who listen to me, who I oftentimes see making smart observations, it's like, how do you get ahead of whatever this is, whatever's coming next? How do you, what's going to happen with real estate? What's going to happen with cities? Are people just going to kind of come out and rub their eyes and, wash their hands and wear a mask and we're just going to kind of go back about business as usual? Or are people going to, are people going to abandon cities? I would understand. I think I have a friend who's like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting the fuck out of here. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. I understand. Well, I understand why you would want to leave. And there's a lot of upsides to it, to be quite honest. The same problems we had before. Real estate, expensive, crowded, opioids, homeless. The streets are falling apart. The whole damn city seems like it's falling apart. The whole West Coast seems like it's becoming a third world country. And now we have a plague. Then we have economic collapse. Then we have, a collapse in the housing market if people don't want to live in cities. So then the value of all the real estate just evaporates. I don't know. I just wanted to be an artist and make animated movies to entertain people. And now I'm here watching our city fall apart before all this. Now I'm watching it face, this is like some Gotham kind of stuff. It's like, can the city recover from this? What's gonna happen if, can the city default on bonds and stuff? What about that Bertha tunnel? I took you through the Bertha tunnel that one night. What about the Bertha tunnel? That was a massive project that went insanely over budget. How are we paying for that now? Never mind a new convention center. Never mind paving the streets. Never mind the schools. Never mind all this other stuff. That's all this taxpayer-funded services. What are you gonna do? How does this actually break down, and what happens? How are the individual consumers going to be impacted by this? What about decoupling from the Chinese supply chains for literally every product, right? PC computer motherboards, all kinds of components made in China, right? So no new PCs for a while, or motherboards and components and stuff like that are going to be expensive, more expensive than they were. Are we all going to pay a little bit more? Well, maybe not even a little bit more. We might pay a lot more for American made, and you won't have a Chinese option. I don't know. Like, how does, and then when all products essentially, because they're not being made by forced labor in China, actually start to reflect the actual prices they should be, what is that? Does that inflate all prices then for all goods because everything's just more expensive now? Again, this is economic stuff that unfortunately no one makes a lot of sense about, in my opinion. Like, I don't really believe what almost anybody says about economics, even when people seem to be making sense. It's like, just because it makes sense doesn't actually mean that that's what happens, you know? It can be counterintuitive. I really appreciate my my ANCAP Austrian economics types, but we already have this weird semi-command economy thing going on in America, and I don't know how the Federal Reserve and all this stuff is going to respond to this thing, whether it's the right thing to do, or whether it's going to be bad for us or worse for us, whether it's going to make the situation worse, or, you know, yeah, I mean, how do we fund Social Security and all these other federal level things when we don't have people earning income? We don't have, you know, we got people going on basically assistance, right? Going on national welfare to get through the pandemic, and then what? You know? And then what? And again, it's like, I'm just sort of thinking out loud about these things, and I can scare the absolute shit out of myself if I start ruminating and meditating on how many different levels of society and every different facet of our lives is going to be impacted, not just by the COVID, but the response to the COVID. As people have been saying, is the cure worse than the disease? Well, we're about to find out. And man, it has the potential to, it really does, it just has the potential to be so much worse than anything we've experienced in our lives, and that includes things like 9/11 and stuff. 9/11 was used as an excuse to get into foreign wars, and we're still in them, essentially, but it didn't affect everyone in the country every day of their lives and destroy their dreams, let's say, because that's what this great suppression is going to do to the economy. The longer this goes on, the longer it's going to take to recover, and it's really going to mess people's lives up in ways that you can anticipate them. I think you can, but you need to, right? Like, you need to anticipate how this is going to impact your life and the life of your people that you care about, and try to get ahead of it, because we all live in different conditions, so we all have different amounts of debt, properties, skills, careers, etc. So you've got to start thinking long term about how this might negatively affect you and the people you care about, and that's how you'll stay ahead of the curve and keep your people safe. All right, that's enough from me. Again, I guess I go out so you don't have to, but it looked like today everyone was just going out anyway, so. All right, well, I guess we'll talk to you again on Monday. Bye.